Hi guys, welcome back to Bows Fan TV, and today we're back with another video doing the match reaction to last night's 2-1 defeat against Sligo Rovers at Dalymount Park. Our first defeat of the season has arrived, and yeah, it's very disappointing. A good opening first 10-15 minutes, but we completely ran out of ideas really after that, I think. And from that point on, really, when we got the goal, Sligo were the better side, and got their couple of goals and defended really well after that, and saw out the game, and got the 3 points that they deserved. Once again, really, we just lacked ideas going forward. We could have played all night and wouldn't have found an equaliser. I think that's how the game was, really. To take just 1 point from 2 games against the bottom two at home really isn't acceptable. And look, full credit to Sligo, they deserve the 3 points. And yeah, we're all very disappointed, of course, but like I said, we opened the game well. We got a goal inside 8 minutes. Same Myers, a really good finish from a excellent ball from Diallo, and he finishes off the crossbar, and from that point on, you're thinking, right, we've got an early goal. We can go on and win this comfortably now, hopefully. But after that, Sligo did start to come into it. They were having nice spells, and they were getting on the ball. Didn't create much, but they were certainly looking the more threatening team, and then they get the equaliser from Fitzgerald, and the pressure that they applied, they made a count, and going in at half time at 1-1, you're thinking, we start so well, and then from for whatever reason we just lose confidence. And I think we've seen that in games this season. You think about the Waterford game, and we started really dominantly, but just didn't really carry that on. Sligo get a goal then early into the second half. A corner, header gets flicked on, McHale's there to put it in, and going behind, then you're thinking it's going to be a really tough task to get back into this game, because we know what Sligo are going to do. They're going to put men behind the ball now, and they're going to really grind it out, and that's what they did. We tried everything really. We brought Dougie on. He comes back in, and that's probably the one positive we can take from last night, is the fact that we got to see James Taylor again, and we know that he's back fit, and he's back as an option now. And we threw Pat Hickey up there again, and we brought on Ryan Burke for his debut, and a few changes were enforced. Obviously Diallo goes off, and we tried to get that goal to get us back in the game. We've had I wouldn't say chances really. Whelan had one where he hits it on the turn, and it just goes wide. Things get more difficult for us then when Adam McDonald is sent off. Second yellow card, and I spoke to a couple of people who thought that it was a bit harsh, but for me, I think it's stupid for McDonald, really. I think it's clearly a second yellow card. There's no need for it to dive in like that, and we're reduced to 10, and it becomes an even more difficult task then to get back into it. And yeah, we didn't really do anything after that. Then we pushed, and we were dominant in possession, but we never looked like scoring. We were never going to score, despite all of the attacking changes that we made, bringing on Dougie, bringing on Strods, throwing Hickey up there. We didn't get the ball in the box enough. Even when we did, we never caused any real dangers. In the end, Sligo saw it out fairly comfortably. And yeah, we suffer our first defeat of the season in very disappointing circumstances. But look, we always knew we were going to lose at some stage. We were never going to go a whole season unbeaten, of course. But once again, there's that concern again of we can't break teams down when they're setting up in a way that's very defensive. We really struggle to create the chances. Even when we're in the ascendancy and dominating possession and looking for a goal, we never really look like getting it. And that's exactly how it was, in the second half last night. Even when we were pushing, you just never felt like we were going to find the back of the net, and that's really disappointing. And it's something that is becoming a big concern now. And like we said, to get only a point from 2 games against the bottom two at home after such a strong start, it's really disappointing, and it doesn't make it any easier when you look at the next few games and how difficult of a run we've got now after last night. going to Tala next week, then going to Richmond Park to play Pats, then 2 home games against Derry and Shells. We would have looked at those games, before last night as, look, let's get the 3 points here against Sligo, and then, we've got a run of games that will really determine whether we're actually going to be title contenders or not. Look, we're down to third, obviously. Rovers winning in Richmond Park last night against Pats, and Dundalk getting a point against Derry as well, make things, even tighter, and we've really got to pull the finger out now in these next 4 games. That's they are probably season defining, really gonna give us an idea of what we can achieve for the rest of the season. So yeah, we've really got to get the finger out now and get back to winning ways in those games. But look, we can only take it one game at a time. We've got to dust ourselves off now after last night. It was very disappointing. Once again, very frustrating going forward. We started the game well. We were really dominant, get a goal. You're thinking, right, we'll go on and win this comfortably now. We've got Sligo early. Let's get another now. And we nearly found another goal after they equalised from Tierney. The ball falls from in the box and he hits it right at Sargent, and that was a big chance that we should have took. For the little chances that we managed to create in the last few games, it's those ones that you have to be taken. And the fact that after that really we didn't create anything else is a big cause for concern, and something that we've got to rectify. And hopefully now that Douglas James Taylor is back in the fold and fit again, we'll start to see a few more goals, and hopefully we can stop dwelling on this and continuing to worry about the lack of goals in us, and we can start to find the form that we had. I know at the very beginning of the season, a disappointing night. We are first defeat again, toothless going forward. And look, we've got a perfect chance to respond next week. Winning in a Dublin derby in Tala would certainly get us back on side and get our confidence back. So look, let's hope we can do that. Won't be easy with the form Rovers have found. But look, at last season, we won in Tala when the chips were down. So let's hope we can see a repeat of that. So yeah, that's where I'll end it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below what your thought about the game, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.